So what sort of professionals should a parent in this situation seek out for support? I mean, lawyer, maybe you can talk a bit more about them, the types of lawyers, kind of the knowledge or specialties that you would advise them to find a lawyer with, or other types of professionals that they can use to support them during this alienation or, separation from their child.
Well, it's really difficult to find somebody that's got a psych law kind of background. I mean, if you can find a lawyer that does have a psych degree, that's beneficial because they've got some knowledge, especially someone who's open to reading the latest research. I've created a massive list of parental alienation research, which I often share the link to. I can give you the link afterwards that has research on parental alienation. It's got research on when a parent has like a mental disorder, the impact it has on the child. There's factitious disorder, which we see when a parent's trying to, make out that the child has got a medical issue when they don't, or a mental health issue if they don't. Or even we see it in the context of schooling. They may think that their child has got like a learning difficulty and they really push for certain diagnostics done. I mean, there are obviously legitimate cases where there may be medical or educational requirements, but we do see it's quite common in this field where a parent there's nothing to support that this child has got these medical problems or difficulties, to the point where this woman had gone to, it was 32 practitioners had been involved in the case with trying to diagnose the child with an illness. That's when you get into like the severe type of cases. Yeah.
Great. So you have resources available and you can share them
Yeah,
with
I
people
do.
in the description that
Yeah.
parents could turn around and ask their lawyer to look at, so that lawyer can also be educated on parental alienation from also a psychological aspect, not just a legal aspect, and really understand what it is.
Yeah, well, I do recommend people, like we've got the website there, is send the link to the lawyer and, read through it and get a bit of an understanding. And they'll be able to see that there is obviously a link on the website that shows all the research that's behind the work that we do. It's and also on the research list, there's also the first part of the book has got resources, as in books, psych and law books in the very beginning. There's a couple of really good ones. One's an international one by Demosthenes Larandos and William Burnett. Demosthenes Larandos, he's an attorney, US attorney and a forensic psychologist. He's like he's the ant's pants when it comes to that. But unfortunately, he's retiring, but he's done extensive work in this space. So there's some great resources by him, which are listed on that research list.
That's great. Yeah, we'll definitely be sure to link that then in the description so parents, families can go to that for support. Are there any specific resources or services you would recommend for children, young adults that feel that they are perhaps a victim of parental alienation?
I just quickly go back. I just want to just
Yeah.
mention about the books. A lot of people go, "Oh my goodness, the books are so expensive," because some of them are a couple of $100s. If you go into your state library or local library, I've had a lot of parents come back and say that they've been able to have them ordered in. So that's another option if they can't afford to get the books, is that they can approach their library or university library and see if they can gain access to the books. And there's also the National Library. We've got a National Library here in Australia where people can register for free on the National Library and you can gain access to some of the books with online viewing. So yeah,
Great. That's great.
sorry to jump back on that, but I thought it was really important information because it's quite a costly exercise getting lawyers and things like that, engaged to recover your children and things like that. But as for resources for children, we did do a page. We've got a page on our website, which is for young people. It's not for like it's more for like teenagers. It's really difficult because like young people aren't on the internet and they don't have access to, and even some adolescents have got full social media blackout.
Yeah.
So, or no access to internet. So it makes it very difficult because usually the alienating parent or the problematic parent doesn't want the child to have access to outside information to assess what they're going through, or to use any critical thinking, you know. But we
Yeah.
do have under the drop down menu, we've got help for people. We've got a young people section where it sort of goes through and asks them some questions like, feeling stuck, we totally get it, and we sort of explain. I won't go through and read it all now, but there's a lot of questions that they can, and a lot of sentences that they can have a little bit of a think about it. And there's also some little tips down there about prioritizing time and relationships, asking them questions. And we've also got things about healthy boundaries, like
Mhm.
what is a boundary and how do you use them and things like that. And there's also some videos on there about, they call them, instead of cognitive distortions, they call them automatic negative thoughts,
Mm.
ants. And so there's a little video on there about it, which talks about it. And then I go into little sections of um, unhelpful thinking traps that children can get into. So there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot to scroll down, under the young people section. There's also places in Australia like Kids Helpline. They're helpful as well. They've got phone support and online support. There's a Beyond Blue for young people. I think we've actually got we've got some of the links in Australia, where to reach out. There's Headspace. There's also 13 Yarn, which is a phone number for Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people, including youth support. Yeah, so there's a few, but not everybody understands alienation dynamics, so it's always best to paint the picture
Yeah.
rather than use the terminology.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And there's also Find My Parent if they're looking for their parent.
Absolutely.
It's like back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. We have mobile application by my parent, and in reality, you can use this for any family member if you're looking for any family member that's gone missing or been separated for any reason. So think adoption, abduction, alienation, human trafficking, conflict, etc. We branded it as Find My Parent because we really want to make sure that children are able to access the technology and are empowered to reunite with their families. But in reality, it can be used for pretty much any case where families are trying to reunite after separation. So all you have to do is go to our website, download our app. It's for free. We have a on the Apple and Android store. And then fill in as much information and add as many pictures as you would like, as you feel comfortable, about yourself. And not just the family member that's missing, but your family in general, your immediate and extended family. Then basically what happens is in the background, our AA technology is looking for matches. So it'll be looking for pictures that match using facial recognition. So imagine, for example, an adult who was adopted at a young age from a foreign country has her baby picture, and then the family back home in whatever country also has that baby picture. They don't speak the same language, they're in two totally different countries, they don't have information about names, etc. It would match those pictures. It also matches based on different languages. So again, let's take a case of adoption where the child has added in their date of birth, their name, etc., all in English. Maybe doesn't have any images, and a family in another country has added in that same information. We're looking for a daughter born on this day in this region, um, in their native language, it would still match. So it's using a mix of data matching and image matching to reconnect families. And the really beautiful thing about it is that's always working in the background. So often when we're talking about missing person cases, police or NGOs may have databases of information, but they have to manually, continually to search for that person. So they have to be reminded, let's go search for this person, see if they're showing up in our database. And their search is limited. You misspell a name, it's not going to work. If you search, you have information in one language and it's being stored in another language, it's not going to match that. I don't think you can really do matching pictures using, an Excel sheet. So, and it's really just matching one piece of information to the same piece of information in the database, whereas our technology is using all the information that's available. So yeah, definitely go download the app. It's available for free um, for anybody in the world on both on Android and iOS devices.
That's fantastic. Such